Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Samapeta Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 9, text number 44. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Not Bali. In childhood, Api, indeed, Mati, attraction, Mayam, of me, Adharmi, in irreligious principles, Ramate, enjoys, Vachit, at any time, Na, no, Apashyam, I saw, Uttama Shlokat, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Anyat, anything else, Kinchana, anything, Vastu, substance, Aham, I. Na baliti matirmayam, adharmi ramate pachit, na pashyam utamashlokat, anyachinchana vastuham, na bali api matirmayam, adharmi ramate pachit, Napashan Mutamashlokan Anyat Kinchana Vastuvaham Adharme Ramate Kvachit. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, I was never attracted, even in my childhood, by insignificant things or irreligious principles. I did not find anything more substantial than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Please repeat. I was never attracted, even in my childhood, by insignificant things or irreligious principles. I did not find anything more substantial than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mahārāja Khaṭvāṅga provides the typical example of a Krishna-conscious person. The Krishna-conscious person does not see anything to be important but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, nor does he accept anything within this material world as being unconnected to the Supreme Lord. As stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 8274, Stavare Jagam Deki Nadeki Taramurti Shavatroho Nija Ishtadeva Shurti. The Mahabhagavata, the advanced devotee, certainly sees everything mobile and immobile, but he does not exactly see their forms. Rather, everywhere, he immediately sees manifest the form of the Supreme Lord. Although a devotee is within the material world, he has no connection with it. Nirbandha Krishna Shambhandi. He accepts this material world in relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The devotee may be engaged in earning money, but he uses that money for propagating the Krishna consciousness movement by constructing large temples, and establishing the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Khaṭvāṅga Mahārāja was therefore not a materialist. A materialist is always attached to wife, children, home, property, so many other things for sense gratification. But as stated above, Khaṭvāṅga Mahārāja was not attracted to such things, and nor did he think of anything existing without the purpose of the Supreme Lord. Ishavashamidam sarvam. Everything is related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, this consciousness is not for ordinary persons. But if one takes the path of devotional service, as described in the Nectar of Devotion, he can be trained in this consciousness and attain perfect understanding. For a Krishna conscious person, nothing is palatable without a relationship with Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jananjanan Shalakayo Chakshuram Militam Nina Tasmaya Shri Guru. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here is angular vision of the Mahābhagavata. Prabhupada said not easily obtain this consciousness, but we can practice it. We can put it into practice. And then we will get the result. So Prabhupada is quoting one verse here from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 8, 274. Savaraja kamanna deki navadeki tar murti savaraja hoy nija ishtadeva shruti. The Mahābhagavata, the advanced devotee, certainly sees everything mobile and immobile, but he does not exactly see their forms. Rather, everywhere he immediately sees manifested the form of the Supreme Lord. Purport: due to his deep ecstatic love for Krishna, the Mahābhagavata sees everywhere. He sees Krishna everywhere and nothing else. This is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. Premanjalita bhakti virochanina shantasa devi desu vilakayanti. As soon as the devotee sees something, be it movable or inert, he immediately remembers Krishna. An advanced devotee of the Lord is advanced in knowledge. This knowledge is very natural to a devotee, for he has already read in the Bhagavad Gita how to awaken Krishna consciousness. According to Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 7:8, Rasoham apashu kuntiya prabhasam asmi shashi shureva pranava sarva vedeshu shabdat ki parusham nirashu. O son of Kunti, Arjuna, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and the ability in man. Thus, when a devotee drinks water or any other liquid, he immediately remembers Krishna. For a devotee, there is no difficulty in awakening Krishna consciousness 24 hours a day. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore says here that an advanced person, a saintly person or advanced devotee, sees Krishna 24 hours a day and nothing else. As far as movable and immovable things are concerned, the devotee sees them all as transformations of Krishna's energy. As Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita 7:10, 7:4, Bhumirapo naro vayu kamano vintuhi vacha ahankara itiyam me bhumi prakritir ashtad. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence and fourth ego, all together these comprise of these 8 constitute my separate material energies. Actually, nothing is separate from Krishna. When a devotee sees a tree, he knows that The tree is a combination of two energies, material and spiritual. The inferior energy, which is a material form, which is material, forms the body of the tree. However, within the tree is a living entity, the spiritual spark, which is a part and parcel of Krishna. This is the superior energy of Krishna within this world. Whatever is living, whatever living thing we see is simply a combination of these two energies. And when an advanced devotee thinks of these energies, he immediately understands that they are manifestations of the Supreme Lord. As soon as we see the sun in the morning, we rise and set about doing our morning duties. Similarly, as soon as a devotee sees the energy of the Lord, he immediately remembers Lord Krishna. This is explained in the verse, Savatprahayyo Nitya Ishtateva Spuriti. A devotee who has purified his existence through devotional service sees only Krishna at every step in life. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So this example is given here, that when this example is given from the 10th canto, the Sri Krishna book, of the gopis. And Prabhupada says that when they see a black tamala tree, black, Krishna's black. So they see the black and it reminds them of Krishna. And Prabhupada said it's not exactly they don't see the tree, but they see Krishna. They're looking at the black tree, but they're not seeing the tree, they're seeing the tree, but they're seeing Krishna. It's like a superimposition. Because their love for Krishna is so much stronger than the impulses of the material energy. The material energy is very strong. It's making us identify with body, with everything else we're identifying to the impulse of the material nature. But when one's awakened his love and affection for Krishna, on the strength of that love and affection, he sees Krishna. He doesn't see them. He sees it's there, but it's like a superimposition on the material energy. It's Krishna. He sees Krishna there. Prabhupada gives another example. The housewife, she's cleaning the room and she sees her daughter's shoes under the bed. She doesn't see the shoes, she sees her daughter. Why? Because she has love for her daughter. So anything that's related to her daughter, she remembers her daughter. So in this way it's pointing out how we can remember Krishna by seeing his energies. And Prabhupada said anybody can do this. Even the members of the Krishna Consciousness Society, even though they're engaged in big cities and preaching work like that, they can see there is a big skyscraper. Materialistic, very materialistic. But the devotee can see it. What is it? It's nothing but a combination of earth, water, fire, air. You take some mud, you mix it with water, you try it in the air, in the fire, and the air, and then you get a drink. And then you build a skyscraper. So where did the earth, water, fire, air come from? No, that's coming from Krishna. He's in charge of all that stock. Prabhupada also gives another example about drinking water. Prabhupada said not necessarily just water, any liquid. It means liquidity. He said even the alcoholic, he can become Krishna conscious. If he takes his wine, if he remembers that taste, it's Krishna, or the liquidity, the taste of liquidity, or the feeling of liquidity. That is Krishna. So even the alcoholic, if he's drinking his wine, if he can remember this, he will become Krishna conscious. So here, this is the position of a Mahābhagavat, an advanced devotee. He sees everything mobile and immobile, but he doesn't actually see that form. So he's in this world. This Prabhupada gives an example of the coconut. When the coconut is ripe, you shake it, you can hear inside that the inside is separated from the coconut. You let it become ripe and dry, then you shake the coconut and you can hear inside is the flesh of the coconut that we like to eat. But it's disconnected from the shell. So simultaneously it's in the shell, but it's disconnected. So, like that we are. The Mahābhagavat is in the material world, he's acting, but he's disconnected from it. By his consciousness of seeing Krishna in everything. So it's Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada said, you see the sun, he's quoting here the sun and the moon in Bhagavad Gita slogan. She said that the sun and moon are my eyes, so we see the sun and the moon, we have to be seeing something. At night time we'll see the moon, daytime we see sun and the moon, but we say, oh, Krishna says he is the sun, he is the moon. So you can see the sun and the moon, but you can say it's Krishna. Krishna says, I am the sun and the moon, so then you can remember. Radha Madhava is sitting there. Oh, it's their moon, it's their sun, okay, so it invokes memory of Radha Madhava, your Ishtadeva, worshipful deity. So anything, all of these different energies, anything but the energies of Krishna. And Krishna is he's present. Simultaneously he's present and he's not present in this material world. He's present by his energies. His energies are not different from him, because where does earth, water, fire, air come from? Apart from Krishna, where else could it come from? We can't make even one grain of sand in our laboratory experiment. But someone's made an awful lot of sand and earth and water and fire, and so who has made all that sand and etc. all these materials? It's Krishna's. There's no one else's. So when we see it, we say, oh, who is the source? Oh, it's Krishna's. Krishna's energy. So we're living in buildings where you see nothing but Krishna's energy. Prabhupada gave another example. I think it's in Bombay. They're walking on the beach there. So they're on the beach and there's a vast ocean and the sky, that's all that's visible. I'm Prabhupada taking a morning walk. I think it was Dravida, Mahārāja. So Prabhupada said, so what do you see? And Mahārāja said, Krishna. Prabhupada said, how? He said, I am the taste of water. Prabhupada went, salty. Salty. He said, no, you see the body of water. Krishna says, water, fire, air. So you see the elements of Krishna. Water is there, the whole ocean must be gone. What is it? It's Krishna's energy. It's nothing but Krishna's energy. So like that, we're dealing, whatever we deal with, it's not different from Krishna. The energy in Krishna are not different. Achinta Vedaveda. Everything is an emanation from Krishna, so it's not different from Krishna in that sense. Nothing has any existence outside of Krishna. Everything is connected to Krishna. So we can learn like that to see Krishna and everything. Prabhupada was on the train journey, and they stopped at a station and he said, "Oh, some hot samosas." They were cooking hot samosas on the station. You go and get some hot samosa. So Guru Das Prabhu, he went and he bought some samosas, hot samosa. And he put them down and he bowed down, Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna, and he started to make the offering. He didn't have a bell, but he was bowing down on the station, making an offering. Then he came back in the train and gave to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, he was watching through the window. He said, not necessary in the train station to do that. He said, but you remember the source of the samosa. You remember the source, not the source. Not the source you dip the samosa in. No, the source of the... The source is also Krishna. There may be some kettle chutney. The source of that is Krishna also. Yeah, the source is Krishna and everything. You just remember the source. Vishnu or Krishna. So this is Krishna consciousness. This is the training we're getting to come to understanding the position of Mahābhagavat. Gokishore Das Bhavaji Maharaj. He was saying everything like this, but he was saying in relation to his guru. He said, I see it as my guru is present in everything and everyone. I see everyone as potential servants of my spiritual master. So if I can come and preach to someone, I can give them connection to my spiritual master, and then they'll have their connection to me. So he said, if I don't see my guru present before me in everything and everyone, where is my savior? Where is my shelter in this world? So this is his vision. He was seeing everything as guru. So non-different actually, Krishna, guru. But he was, the Gokisha was saying his guru as everything, in everyone and in everything. Who would preserve me if they were not? And then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was saying the story. And then he quoted, this is just like the gopis. When Krishna disappeared from them, and then the gopis were looking for Krishna. There were bokul trees. Where did Krishna? Did you see Krishna here? Oh, trees of tulsi. Did you see? They were talking to the leaves and the flowers and the trees, and where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? This was their madness, the very high state of realization. But they were seeing everything in connection with Krishna, to the extent of talking to them, the trees and flowers. Yeah, so everything is connected to Krishna, and of course the gopis directly see that their lovable Lord directly before them. Anyway, so this is the position of Mahābhagavata. They know how to utilize everything in the service of Krishna. They see everything is the energy of Krishna, know how to use it in the service of Krishna. This is their expertise. And this is our whole training in Krishna consciousness. The way Prabhupada has established this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And here, Khaṭvāṅga Mahārāja was not attached to such things, nor could he think of anything existing without the purpose of the Supreme Lord. Vishvasyam vidam sarvam. Everything is related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, this consciousness is not for ordinary persons, but if one takes part of devotional service, as prescribed in the Nectar Devotion, he can be trained in this consciousness. So this is how Prabhupada is established our Krishna consciousness. He knows the purpose. He cannot think of anything existing without the purpose of the Supreme Lord. So we see how Prabhupada designed ISKCON with the purpose of... What's the main purpose of ISKCON? Prabhupada wrote, I think, 7 purposes.
Sharing Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, the main thing, overall thing is the purpose he wanted to satisfy the desire of the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This was his main thing. How we can expand the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Mahaprabhu has a mission here, Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So the Mahaprabhu can see that, and he can see how to spread it effectively, and we see how potent Prabhupada is in establishing Krishna consciousness, how effective it's become that we are. Now this principle of Uttarayaga, using everything in Krishna's service. Prabhupada is so expertly arranging all this. Otherwise we wouldn't know. We wouldn't know what to be doing. So you engage all the senses in the service of Lord Hirishikesha, the master of the senses. So Prabhupada knew how to utilize everything. And we see the results he got. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was coming to deliver, all the incarnations are coming to deliver the living entities. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, specifically, he's come to give Braja Prem. He's following Krishna in the Nitya Leela, the eternal pastimes of Krishna. Lord Chaitanya also follows Krishna. So 5,000 years ago, Krishna did. 500 years ago, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was expounding the message of Krishna consciousness, and through the establishing the Yoga Dharma, the chanting of Hare Krishna, the process of chanting Hare Krishna. So, as it says here, Prabhupada couldn't think of anything else but the purpose of Krishna. And it's a fact. Prabhupada only spoke Krishna. What is the purpose of Krishna? Pushing us, urging us on to go out and give Krishna consciousness to everyone. It's written in books. Bhagavad Gita says, Ki Jai, Gita Jayanti Ki Jai. All full of so much information about the purpose of life, the purpose of the living entity. What is God's purpose? The living entity's purpose is to execute the orders of. That is the purpose. Execute the orders of the Lord. Become Krishna conscious, and the whole world can become Krishna conscious. So this was Prabhupada. He was always acting and talking, and 24 hours, whatever he did, he was for Krishna. He had no other motivation except to spread Krishna consciousness. And that's what Prabhupada has trained us in Krishna consciousness. So become conscious of Krishna and everything. This is Krishna consciousness movement, International Society of Krishna Consciousness. become Krishna conscious. This is the Mahābhagavata vision. And we get this, how to do that through the medium of devotional service. Devotional service is the direct process. Karma is indirect. Yoga process. These are the what's happening in this material world. Generally, is classified as karmis who try to enjoy the world, or the yogis who try to get out of the world, and the devotees who want the bhaktas. They want to serve Krishna. So, devotional service is the direct process. The karmic process and the yoga process, the jnana process, they are effective, but they take a long time. But devotional service is direct service to Krishna. So we save a lot of time by performing devotional service, rather than following all the procedures in the world of karma and in the world of jnana, brahmaṇas. So ISKCON is called Krishna Bhavanamrita. Rupa Goswami coined this phrase, and Prabhupada took the International Society of Krishna Consciousness from this term, Krishna Bhavanamrita, Rupa Goswami. So this movement is a movement of abhideya, the process of devotional service. Devotional service becomes the medium where we can express our love to Krishna. So we're getting this opportunity. Here is devotional service. How you perform your devotional service, how you can express your love to Krishna through this process of devotional service. So that giving the process, we have to follow it. So Mahārāja Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give Raganuga Bhakti, spontaneous devotional service. Here, you saw Mahaprabhu with his devotees, here, take it. Just dancing, chanting in ecstasy, take it. Those who could take it, they were drowning in the ecstasy, and those who couldn't take it, they were floating on the dock, they couldn't take it. But the ecstasy is there. Every morning. Morning, noon and night actually. The devotees are chanting Hare Krishna. Chandramoli last night, Sunday Arti, he's dancing like a madman. The ecstasy. You go at noontime there, you hear Gopal, he leads Raja Bhagati. And he gets everybody jumping up and all the pilgrims there, and he gets them walking around. Hari Harai Namo Krishna. Gets them around, everybody in Bengal knows that. This was Mahaprabhu started his mission with this song. When the students asked him, what is this Krishna consciousness? What is this path of bhakti? Or how do we practice it? Harinam Sankirtan. How do we practice it? Mahaprabhu said, Hari Harai Namo Krishna Garupai Namah Gopala Govinda Ram Shrimad Krishna. We clapped. They were clapping, and he said, this is it. That's all it is. So everybody actually in Bengal, they all go around the bhaktas. They all know that song and that tune very well. So they're all, you go at 12 or 12:30, just at the end of the arti, they're all dancing, and everybody's happy. Ecstasy is there. This is the purpose. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give us this ecstasy. Now you take it. If you cannot take it, second best. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. So therefore we get the process of abhideya. Abhideya means the process. Here our process is chanting Hare Krishna. The process of bhakti. Second best, but it works. Because otherwise my Rupa Goswami will give the process. And they're the eternal servants of the Lord. They don't practice Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. They're already on the spontaneous platform. But to come here and show us how to take this process, Rupa Goswami has given us so much instructions, nectar devotion. If we follow these instructions, then the result will be there. The more sincere we are, the quicker the result will come. But it works, otherwise why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will bother to come, why Prabhupada will bother to establish it. So it works. And we see it. We see it here and there. We see it. So it's just, you expand all these ecstasies, going around with all the time, every day. You go over there, it's ecstasy. Right? So you can just expand that. You can imagine the whole world can be an ecstasy, the whole universe, the whole. This is the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is his mission. This is his purpose. And we are supposed to be fulfilling that purpose. So we are known as Rupa Anugas. It means we are followers of Rupa Goswami. He is considered the father of devotional service. So it's a movement of Abhideya. Abhideya means a process. You have these three principles: Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. Sambandha means relationship, establishing a connection. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhavunam Jananti. To establish a relationship with Krishna, lotus feet, takes thousands and thousands of births of being a jnani, searching for truth. Then you come to this point of understanding. Vasudeva Saramiti. It's very rare. He comes to the point of surrendering to the lotus feet of Krishna. That's your Sambandha. Now you have a connection with Krishna's lotus feet. How long did it take? Krishna says thousands and thousands of births of being a jnani. So you get your Sambandha. So this, the way Prabhupada established Krishna consciousness, the devotees are going out and preaching in various ways. Somehow or another we all met a devotee. Most of us must have met a devotee and started our Krishna consciousness. So we preach to them, you're not the body, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you're his eternal servant here, take some service. You help clean the pots, you go to the temple, and you help us clean some pots or something, you work out and sanctify and carry a book bag. Somehow or another you got some service, you come into Krishna consciousness, and somehow or another slowly or immediately you got service actually, if you wanted. So this getting service to Krishna, this is the Abhideya, the process. Devotional service, loving service. So that took thousands and thousands of births according to Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. But when you meet a devotee or you go to the temple, what do you get? You get Sambandha and Abhideya in one day. First day of Krishna consciousness. You go to the temple, you're Krishna's servant. You're not his body, okay, really, you get Sambandha, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now you're as a saver, so you get a relationship established and service to Krishna in one day. This is the vision of the Mahabhagavata, the purpose. Then they understand the purpose of Mahaprabhu, how to expand his mission. According to time and circumstance, Prabhupada went there, he had a look, it wasn't a very good field he had to work with when he went to America. He had a look and then he formed his society on, his experience with the consciousness of the people at that time, which was pretty low. And he made this, this movement that Prabhupada will go down in history of the world as being that movement which saved millions and millions of souls. Prabhupada ki, ISKCON movement ki, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki, Nitya Gaura Mananda. Thank you. Comment, question?
Prabhu, you mentioned that in a very advanced level, devotee can see the proximity of his spiritual master. So and also Krishna also. So it is principle of the spiritual master, Guru Tattva. This seeing the Guru means it's about Guru Tattva or some particular personality. Diksha Guru is in what way we should understand it.
Seeing the Guru everywhere.
Yeah.
But how we he sees everything he has in his possession. Anything he is doing, it's in service to his Guru. His Guru has sent all these things to use in Krishna consciousness. His Guru has sent some person to meet him, so I can preach to him, give him the message of my Guru. Then he'll become Krishna conscious. So everything and everyone he sees being sent by his Guru to utilize in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
I'd like to know Hare Krishna. I'd like to know the opposite. You were talking about direct. There is direct devotional service. Which is the opposite? We're talking about
Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, Mantrach Piti Bhakti, rules and regulations. Wake up early in the morning, take bath, go to Mangalati. These are all rules and regulations. So
that is not direct.
No.
And what is specifically direct devotional service?
Generally, Raganuga Bhakti means chanting, hearing, remembering.
Singing.
Yes, chanting, hearing.
Dancing.
Mostly it's that, hearing and chanting and preaching and remembering. More or less that's all you do the whole day.
Can you repeat the last?
Hearing, message of, and chanting, and remembering.
Hearing, chanting, remembering.
You see, those who do Raganuga, practice the Raganuga, Raganuga also has a practice, Raganuga Sadhana. So those who follow that path, it's bona fide, they're following the path. But you see, like in Vrindavan, a person becomes Babaji, he renounces everything. And what does he do? Mostly they're just chanting Hare Krishna, doing kirtan, hearing Bhagavatam, reciting Bhagavatam. That's all they do the whole day. Actually, they see the Ashtakala Leela, Radha Krishna's Leelas, and they meditate on them different times of the day. So the whole day they're remembering, they're reading about Radha Krishna's pastimes, childhood pastimes, with the cowboys, with the gopis, with the... So like the Krishna's pastimes, they meditate on the whole day. So that's all they're doing. Remembering, ultimately, they like to constantly remember. That's the process of spontaneous. You have attraction to Krishna, spontaneous devotional service. Raganuga means spontaneous. They have an attraction for Krishna. So it's difficult then for not to think of Krishna. If Krishna's out of their mind, it hurts their mind. No. We are, Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti means we are forcing ourselves to remember Krishna. It's like forcing ourselves. Raganuga means spontaneous. You already have developed affection and love for Krishna. Your heart only goes to Krishna, it doesn't go anywhere else. So otherwise you stick to the principles of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, and this will purify our existence. Then Krishna consciousness is already in the heart. Krishna is there, you are there, your relationship is there, the love is there. But it's covered by all these moila, dirty things. So as we uncover it, then your real identity and relationship with Krishna comes.
As direct service to Krishna is the devotion service. You just said the opposite. Can I make a conclusion that